host of the Gridiron.
Now, this is, I didn't see an article saying this, right? But implying, right? Implying stuff like this. Of course, I saw one article that had Daniel Jones with a Cowboys jersey on, and it was implying that he'll be their starting quarterback for the Thanksgiving Day game, right? But of course, once again, the Cowboys would have to wind up picking up his salary, and I don't think they can afford to do that. So that kind of makes that kind of null and void. But my point is here when I do this with DJ's release, are you thinking what I'm thinking? But you'll notice here, who's Daniel Jones in that thumbnail? Who's he standing next to? Oh yeah, Saquon, right? I was just like got this stuff going through my head and all that stuff. I mean, could you just imagine, right? Because I mean, honestly, if we go to if he went to the Eagles, right? Basically, that's the land of the no salary cap. They have over $300 million, I think, in paid salary, like pushed years down the road. They bring guys in, they pay them whatever they want. Oh yeah, you want that? Sure, yeah, we got it. But we're gonna put void years on the end of the contract, so they're paying them for a long time, right? But I'm saying is that could you imagine if Daniel Jones went to the Eagles, right? And you can just imagine a couple scenarios here, right? Of course, one of them would be, I think it's the last game of the season we're playing. Right? So just imagine the Eagles pick up Daniel Jones, right? You can see it happening. They got his man behind him, and I'll tell you what, you want to see Saquon give it his all, right? If they're going against the Giants, who didn't they tried to sign him. They did try to sign him. He just kind of right. But then you go up against the Giants in Philly, and you go up against the Giants, and if they had Daniel Jones, who the Giants just cut, that's his bro. They're tight, right? Could you imagine what Saquon would want? Oh man! So you can imagine. I'm just saying, it's like just say the Eagles have stuff wrapped up, right? And maybe Jalen Hurts is a little nicked up or something. So could you imagine? Could you imagine? Oh, it'd be written on the wall. The Giants shouldn't even bother showing up. They'd start Daniel Jones in the final game of the season against the Giants, and he'd be playing for the Eagles, and of course they'd win. Oh yeah, of course. You know it. I mean, how embarrassing would that be? Right? How embarrassing would that be? Or just say something like they get to the playoffs, right? And what Daniel Jones, or say Hurts gets hurt or something, and Daniel Jones runs out onto the field, right? Breaks open his sideline jacket, right? Flips it off, got the 8, runs out into the field, right? He saves the day for the Eagles, gets them through the playoffs, gets them to the Super Bowl and all that. Could you imagine how? Oh my God! I mean, how badly things are looking right now for the Giants because they tried to sign Saquon. Just didn't work out. But I mean, letting Daniel Jones go, and if he goes to especially the Eagles, and if he really helps them, win some games, or especially that final game of the season, if they put sit Hurts down so he doesn't get in, whatever it was, and they start Daniel Jones against the Giants. Oh, and if the Eagles won that game, could you imagine what kind of laughing stocks the Giants would be? I mean, really? Could you imagine? Because it would be like Daniel Jones going up against Tommy DeVito. Could you imagine? He's playing for Philly. That would be how hard the Eagles would be playing in that game for Daniel Jones, the new guy. Just do it so they can embarrass the Giants. Oh, they'd be opening up holes a country mile wide for Saquon Barkley. and I'm sure Daniel Jones probably, would love to have a field day passing the ball against the Giants. How embarrassing that would be. But the other thing is that, not even if it's the Eagles. As I said, I was just thinking, that was going through my head. Hey, imagine we went to Philadelphia. Or maybe not even so much this year. Say next year, right? Say he's a free agent. And, if you look here with Philadelphia, they got, now I don't know how long these guys are on the team. Now they got Tanner McKee and Kenny Pickett. Now I don't know how long McKee and Pickett have been signed for. Don't know, right? But I mean, you can say, it's next year, right? Daniel Jones is a free agent. Somebody picks him up. They're not going to pay him. Ain't nobody paying a whole lot of money. He might have a couple options. Do you want to go to the Cardinals? You want to go to the Buccaneers? You want to go to the Eagles? He might be. I don't know. I just might want to go to the Eagles. Right. I'm saying, could you imagine wherever he goes, if he starts having a good year, really looking good? You can imagine how embarrassing that would be for the New York Football Giants. He's going to go someplace. Maybe he can try to compete for a starting quarterback, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Be a starting quarterback. I said, unless if he goes there as a backup and the starting quarterback actually gets injured, But pretty much, I believe, just from looking at him, it looks like his days are, as a starter, as a full-blown starter, are pretty much over. But could he be a backup? Sure, absolutely. But as I said, maybe in a different system, a fresh start, different coaches, different players, and maybe he starts feeling a little more comfortable, right? And maybe he flourishes as a backup, right? But I said, my thing was kind of like, I'm like, well, if Saquon went to Philly, right, I wonder if Daniel Jones would go to Philly as well, too. I would just, I'd be just a kick in the pants, absolute kick in the pants. And I said that the really thing that would really be freaking embarrassing is if Daniel Jones went to another team and really started flourishing. Whew. Mr. Mara's head would freaking explode. Right?